Hello and welcome back to our Land's End to John Groats feature, riding the awesome Triumph Tiger 900 Rally and GT Pro. To begin our tour, we caught up with multiple Olympic champion Victoria Pendleton in Bournemouth, before shooting north and into Wales to meet up with rugby legend George North. Check out those episodes on our YouTube channel. For now though, after leaving Bafflehouse, we had a fairly uneventful and boring trip north for our overnight stop in Barrow-in-Furness. With a mere 216 miles to cover and 99% of that on tediously boring motorways, you will have to forgive us for not having much video footage of it, but the M6 motorway is not one of the most picturesque, so we thought we could probably skip that part. After a restful night's sleep at our overnight stop in Barrow, we rejoined the journey while we are refuelling for probably only the 713th time in the 4 days that we had been riding. After filling up with fuel in the almost alpine town of Pitlochry, the roads leading us north begin to get narrower, twistier and much more entertaining. With every mile we get closer to John Groats, the slightly firmer and sportier Tiger 900 GT Pro really started to come into its own. It's not that the Rally Pro is particularly wayward or hogtied on twisty tarmac roads. In fact, for an adventure bike, it's actually very good. It's just that the slightly shorter travel suspension of the GT matched to the lower all-round centre of gravity make it an absolute weapon on the B roads. Rounding Inverness, and we hit some of the best roads of the 1300 mile trip so far. The A9 from Glenmorangie and onwards forms the eastern part of the North Coast 500, and it is simply stunning. It's not overly challenging to ride, but it sweeps and dives its way across the Highlands. If you've never ridden it, put the NC 500 on your bucket list for 2021.
So we're on our way up to John Groats. It's been a long 3 days. What stunning scenery to finish it all off with. We've still got a bit to go, of course, but these Tiger 900s have just been phenomenal. They're so smooth and easy to ride. The gearbox is just so nice. Puts down power really well, nice and torquey at the low end. When you get to the high end, it's got enough grunt to keep on pushing. Really have outdone themselves with this Tiger 900 range. Now, of course, what I'm riding at the moment is the Rally Pro, and ahead of me is towed on the GT Pro. They've got the same sort of setup, really, same engine, all this stuff, but the Rally Pro's got a few more added features to make it a bit more off-road orientated. Really struggling to speak because I'm just in awe of all of this around me. Braided lines, softer suspension, like shower forks. Heated grips on here come in handy. Nice pegs. The old bear grip. Bear trap grip. Yeah, just been really nice bikes to experience for the whole trip. It's great to go and see Victoria Pendleton, have a chat with her while the Triumph land, and then George North, and of course Bafflehouse, which was so much fun. Lovely roads out there. We'll continue on, get to John Groats this evening, do a little bit of an outro, let you know how we've got on, how we've enjoyed this 3-day slog. We'll see you there. Ciao.
Eager to complete our adventure with some gusto, myself and Toad started to really egg each other on atop our respective Tigers. Despite the GT Pro certainly being a tad more well equipped for this adventure, the Rally Pro, with a propensity to be a bit softer with the off-road spec 45mm Showa forks, we certainly weren't hanging about. I'd love to share our average speed over this last stint, but the dog ate my homework, officer. I'd have to agree with Toad on this one. The A9 and beyond has some fantastic roads. If you have time to spare, the road signs will indicate brief detours off the A9 and onto brief stints of B-road glory to break up the monotony. It's well worth a go, and you'll come straight back onto the main road to continue on, but you'll need that spare time. You could feel the temperature drop as we rounded the top of the A9, the North Sea air bringing the riding temperature down a few degrees, but the heated seat and grips kept me nice and toasty for the last few miles. Finally, we near the famous John Groats sign, our tour all but coming to a triumphant close. Somehow we were blessed with good weather for the most part on our journey, and we came away from the tour with a particular fondness for these tigers. I'll leave you with the footage of our arrival and obligatory photos to prove that we made it there.
So, there we go. We've made it.
Mental, mate. It's freezing.
It's really cold, isn't it?
What a ride. What a ride. That was amazing.
The last 60 or 70 miles on the A9 is simply one of the best roads I've ever ridden in my life.
It's incredible. It's nice.
What about the bikes?
Just top. Really enjoyed everything of it. Power for days, comfortable. Heated seats came in useful at the end.
The heated seat was
Oof.
much needed. I didn't think we were going to need to use that at the start of today, but
No.
and then
Spent some time soft for me, at least on the Rally Pro at the end.
we valued the heated kit on the
Absolutely.
Tigers. Yeah,
If I could plug myself into that heated seat, I would.
yeah.
Because I'm freezing.
Oh, I am proper cold. I think it's time to put a hoodie on. I also think it's time to find some fish and chips.
Sounds good to me.
And a pint.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes, please.
so that's, how many miles have we done? About 1,500, 1,300,
Yeah.
roughly.
A zigzag tour.
But well worth it. High five.
Well in.
Thank you, Tiger 900 GT Pro and Rally Pro. You've been fantastical steeds. Literally about all you want for a journey like this, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Comfortable, good fun.
Yeah, lots and lots of fun. So we are going to go and find some lodgings for the evening, some chips, and some beer. Stay tuned, see you on the next one.
Have a good one.
Now, the return trip. Stay tuned for episode 5, where we'll round up the trip, cover off the Tiger 900 bikes, and recap the lot for you.